Saturday morning, and we're live, L-I-V-E. So, let's get over here to the YouTubers and get it edited together. Yeah, okay. Well, so we're definitely public, and we're live, L-I-V-E. Let's get some coffee. Listen to some Natalie.
Coffee time, my dreamy friend, it's coffee time. Let's listen to some jazz and rhyme and have a cup of coffee. Let me show a little coffee house I know, where all the new bohemians go to have a cup of coffee.
Good morning, Brother Eric.
Greeting time, the music box is beating time. It's good old-fashioned meeting time. So grab a chair and dig me there, 'cause that's just the place that I'm at. Coffee time, my dreamy friend, it's coffee time. Let's sing this silly little rhyme and have a cup of coffee.
Muffins.
I'll see you there, 'cause that's just the place that I'm at. Coffee time, my dreamy friend, it's coffee time. Let's sing this silly little rhyme and have a cup of coffee. We'll have a cup of coffee, just a little bit of Java. Yeah, we'll have a cup of Joe, don't you know? 'Cause it's coffee time.
It's a coffee time. Sipping on that coffee. Good morning. Good morning. Happy, a super duper happy Saturday. Saturday the 8th of February 2020. I'll be heading to work here shortly. Well, I'm going to be at work at 8 a.m. Inventory today, once again. I'll be working until about 3 o'clock. And then I'll jump in the old Ford truck and go see my mom. Go see my mom. My mom is on the road to recovery. Thank you for asking, Brother Eric. Little update on Mom. Yesterday, she went to her doctor's, had her stitches removed. And her doctor placed her on a heart monitor for the next few weeks to see how she is doing, see what's going on with her heart, and all that jazz. So that's the update on Mom. Thank you, Brother Eric, for checking in, seeing how that goes. I do appreciate that, and Mom appreciates that as well. So yeah, just I don't want to go work today. I didn't want to get up this morning, man. I did not want to get up from work at all, or get up from bed and go to work this morning. I was sleeping so good. I didn't get off work last night till almost 8. I think it was a little after 7ish, sometime after 7. And then I went and took myself a shower. I know, usually I have showers on Wednesday nights, but this past Wednesday night, we were having bad winter weather conditions, and I did not feel like driving. And of course, Thursday, we had blunt jams. So, yeah, I went and took myself a nice long hot shower last night. It was scrum-diddly-umptious. It felt so good. It did. So when I got back to the VW bus, it was just like, I went and hung out with my friend Bryson up at the shop a little bit, and then I went and crashed. They closed the shop last night at 9, so I crashed about 9:30ish last night. I went to sleep around 9:30. Man, yeah, I didn't want to get up this morning. I was snoozing good. When I talked to Mom at 5:30 this morning, I went back to sleep to 6:15. I was like, man, then my alarm went off. I was like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. But I'm up. I'm up, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go. But yeah, we're trugging along in inventory. Inventory is inventory. It is what it is. Oh, good morning, beautiful, wonderful, groovy friend Michelle. Michelle. Good evening. Or good morning. I'm waking up. Don't pay no attention to me saying good evening. Good morning. Good morning. I'm chugging the coffee. I didn't want to wake up this morning. I didn't want to get up, but I have to. Yep. Yeah, we've had some weird, strange weather in Oklahoma. Definitely strange. You know, it definitely makes it unique to be living in a van in wintertime or in any time in Oklahoma. That's for sure. For now, it does. So yeah, I'll be heading to work. I gotta be working at 8, so that means we can sip on coffee a little longer this morning than normal. So it's definitely gonna be an extended coffee talk this morning. But yeah, yesterday, it was weird. I was kind of like in a weird mind space all day yesterday. I don't know what it was. I really don't. My friend, said maybe it was because the moon is in some weird retrograde for the week, or is it the full moon? I don't know, man. But my mindset was really weird yesterday. I just couldn't get out of this really weirdness. Maybe it could have been because I made a nice little comment. There was a nice lady that delivers parts to one of the stores I deliver to. And when I noticed her getting out of her car, and she looked very upset. She looked just really, really, really upset. And I figured I'd be kind and nice. And I was like, hey, you dropped your smile. And she looked at me with this most hateful look that I have not seen in a while from a lady. Just this most hateful look. And she looks at me and she goes, maybe I've never had a smile to begin with, to even drop. And I was just like, I looked at her like, what the heck? Like, yeah, supermoon, that's what it is. But so maybe that's why I went into a funky headspace yesterday, because it kind of just took me off guard. I don't know. It was just weird, man. Because she was just like, you got to have a smile to begin with to drop it. And I was just like, and the way she looked at me was just like, I've seen that look many, many, many times in my ex-wife. And it was just that look of like total hatred. And it made me think, it was like, this lady don't even know me. You know, and she is just completely being as mean as she can to me. And she don't even know who I am. Oh, well, it is what it is. And maybe that's, you know, maybe that's why I was in a funky headspace, you know. I don't know. But I woke up a lot better, you know, and I definitely woke up thinking about it this morning, so... Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, and I understand we all carry baggage, man. We all got baggage. You know, I prefer a really groovy bag, man, to carry. A really light, green, fluffy bag. But, you know, we all carry some weird baggage, man. I understand that. And I could tell she was not, you know, in the best of moods. And that's why I just kind of stepped out. Because I've never said anything to her, you know. I just kind of stepped away from my personal space. And just kind of, you know, wanted to cheer her up. And it was just like, dang. You know? It was just like, I don't know. And maybe that's what sent me into my weird headspace all day yesterday. It was just like one of those, once again, weird headspaces. It was like, have I chose the right lifestyle? You know, even though I'm happier than a June bug living the way I do, have I chose this life? I mean, have I chose to, you know, because obviously people look at me differently. People look at me as some sort of a gypsy or a vagabond, and maybe that they don't even know about my lifestyle. I obviously stand out because I am a different person. I think different, you know. I act different. I talk different, you know. And yes, I'm a very different, upgoing, happy person. So when people notice that I'm not my usual upbeat self, they pick up on it pretty darn quick. You know, Michelle, maybe it's, you know, women and men in general just despise happiness, you know, and when other people try to, you know, project that happiness, you know, they just don't like it. And that's what I was thinking about this morning. I was like, that lady's bitterness, because she was bitter yesterday, her bitterness literally rubbed over to me because I tried to be nice and it just kind of affected me. And that's not cool, man. I can't let stuff like that affect me, man. You know, I can't at all. Good morning, Kristen, or good afternoon. Let's say good afternoon in your neck of the woods over there in beautiful Holland, the beautiful Netherlands. Yes. Good afternoon. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. My Saturday is just starting out. I'm starting out my Saturday with my friend Jack Herrera. Jack Herrera. And I do believe Jack Herrera, the strain itself, is an actual Dutch original strain. I do believe it's a Dutch original strain. Oh, Jack Herrera. Yes. Let's have a look see at old Jack Herrera. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. Jack Herrera. Yeah. This morning's coffee is brought to you by Jack Herrera. But I'm silly about it. Yummy for my tummy. I would pronounce it different. Oh yeah? Big storm coming tomorrow, huh? Jeez. Is it a winter storm coming your neck of the woods, Kristen? Like snow and stuff? Or is it just like rain? You know, nasty weather like that? Or wind and lightning and stuff? Let's get some more coffee. Let's get some more coffee. Oh, yeah. Lasty cuppy call. Thank you, Maxwell, the coffee maker, for waking me up. Jeez. Super windy storm, huh? That is... Be safe. You know, hunker down. Gotta hunker down. So yeah, today is just inventory. That means I'm not driving, I'm not going out, you know, for deliveries or anything like that. Just inventory for the next, you know, 7 hours or so. So yeah, it's a groovy morning, man. Gotta make it groovy. No rain. No rain. Thank you, Kristen, for a little bit of, just a little bit of that. You stay home on Tuesday, huh? So a little bit of No Rain by Blind Melon. I don't know, you said no rain, so that's what popped in my mind. Watch people. That is funny. I have seen that happen a few times, man. Yeah, get your groceries done. Yep. Such a great song, ain't it? Blind Melon. You know, they got such good music. You know, such a tragic story about about Shannon Hoon. Shannon Hoon is the lead singer to Blind Melon. I'm a big Blind Melon fan, but Shannon Hoon was found on his tour bus on tour way back in the early 90s. He passed away from a drug overdose, unfortunately, but left us with some great music. Especially here with No Rain. Just a little jam to get you like your body moving, you know? It doesn't matter what's going on. You hear this little jam, you just kind of want to shake your booty a little bit, you know? This is also such a great song, and it has such a great video. The video is so surreal looking. Just a little psychedelic. Blind Melon for your Saturday morning. No rain. Thank you, Kristen, for that little inspirational thought. And rest in peace, Shannon Hoon, a Blind Melon. Yeah, it takes me way back to when I was a youngin' when I listened to that type of music. Of course, you know, we have blunt jams now. Blunt jams every Thursday night. That would be probably let's say 8:30 p.m. 8:45ish p.m. in my neck of the woods. I really wish I knew what time that would be in your neck of the woods, Kristen, because it's probably like 2 o'clock in the morning. But this past Thursday, blunt jams was so much fun. First time to spark up a blunt on the YouTube. Well, nah, second time actually, but first time to actually officially jam out to blunt jams. So that's why we'll do it again this Thursday. Man, it's Saturday morning. It is Saturday morning, and I cannot believe it. And we haven't yet had the Kazoo Kid. I guess that's because it's Saturday morning. So, yeah, no Kazoo Kid this morning. You know, sometimes we get that Kazoo Kid bebopping in here. He's just like, I got a kazoo and go. I got a kazoo. And then he gets you out of here. So, I turned my little heater on. I think the temperature last night dropped down to the upper 20s, I do believe. So it was cold outside. Oh, you out of here, Kristen? Alrighty. You have a good afternoon in your neck of the woods, a good evening as it starts up, a good Saturday evening. I'm getting ready to start my Saturday morning. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Thanks for hanging out with me and Michelle. With Michelle and I. You know, hopefully someday, you know, we all can just hang out this VW bus. Let's get some coffee. Man, that's good coffee. Fingers crossed, hotbox that bus. Oh yeah. And then trust me, it's easy to hotbox this thing. It's definitely easy to hotbox. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Fast Times at Richmond High, but when they come climbing out of their VW bus, because there's a VW bus in that movie, they come rolling out of it and smoke comes pouring out of the bus. That's happened a time or two in this one as well. You know, I was talking to, that's funny, Michelle, that you mentioned a passport. You know, I was talking to somebody else about a passport last night, and I would love, you know, I had a passport in the 90s, and then I just didn't renew it. And now I got to get another passport if I ever want to travel abroad. But unfortunately, you know, my point of view is, why do we have to have papers, you know, to travel like we do, even here in the States? You know, I guess we got to get some sort of a second identification now here in Oklahoma, because I guess it's like, or they changed your driver's license. I don't know. It's called the Real State ID Act, whatever the heck that means. It's like, oh, what? We never had a real state ID from the get-go? Well, I guess you have to have some sort of a actual documentation to fly, to go to airports and stuff. Some sort, you know. Yes, we've always had our driver's license, but now there's something different about it. So to me, you know, to have to show your papers, to cross over lines and whatnot, that's just too much to me. Like, you know, something that happened during World War II, you know, with a country and a dictator that was completely bonkers off of his head on methamphetamine. Yes, we're talking about a dude with a mustache, that talked gibberish a million miles an hour. Yeah, so I don't know why we have to show papers when we got to travel. It sucks, completely sucks, but someday I'll get one. Heck yeah, Michelle. You come hang out in this VW bus, you come travel around this VW bus, you'll see it's a whole nother ball game. Speaking of the VW bus, I was just discussing the VW bus to my buddy last night. Bryson, my buddy Bryson, he was the fine gentleman that sponsored the Blunt from Blunt Jams on Thursday. I was discussing with him last night that I have to start gearing up to redo my interior in the bus. Even if I don't redesign my interior in the bus, at very least I have to redo it. Like, my seats are 50 years old back here. My bed, the cushions, the foam, everything that's in here are 50 years old. The leather, covering the seats are taped up together, holding it together. So I got to get it all recovered and refoamed. And so when I do all this, it's going to take, a few weeks or a little longer. And, it'd be definitely difficult to live in my bus while that's going on. So I'm going to have to eventually find me a very, very minimal, short-term place to stay while that's taking place. So I'm going to have to start, brainstorming in the next month or so to see what I'm going to do. Maybe I can, do it all here where I'm staying, and literally, I don't know. I'll figure something out. I got to redo my interior. So the couch, like I said, the foam, everything is 50 years old in here. It needs to be redone. So but living in this bus, living in a van is a unique experience. It's definitely probably a lot different than living in a motorhome or a small trailer. Living in a van is definitely different. If I was to go to one of those, newer, vans that seem to be very popular with the van life movement, that'd be like moving into a mansion compared to this, to me, because those vans are very much more spacious. So I'll be like, whoa. I thought about doing that, staying at one of those extended stays. There's many of them around where I stay at, because I stay really close to the airport. So that means I'm on Airport Row, where like all the hotels and all the stuff is, and there's like 29th Street where there's some cheaper motels and whatnot, some extended stays. So, I got options. But as my life progresses, I'm gonna have to make the choice of, if I'm gonna stay in this bus longer, I'm gonna have to make it livable. It's livable now, but I'm gonna have to make it livable on into the future. Because, like your home, like anybody's home, you have to keep maintenance up. Mine's a mobile home. Literally a mobile home. So I got to keep some maintenance up. And yeah. She's a unique little VW bus. It is. There's a very, very few people that have seen me on YouTube that have actually got to experience, the bus itself. I don't exaggerate it. It is what it is. It's a unique little sucker. You come and hang out in the VW bus, time itself changes. And I don't know. It's just a whole nother world in the bus itself. All you gotta do, if you're ever in the Oklahoma City metro area and feel like a unique a unique experience for a few hours or whatnot, come hang out in this VW bus. Come hang out. We'll go for a ride. We'll go up and down. We'll cruise up and down 66 a little bit. We'll travel the strings of time a little bit, man. You know, the little strings of time. The threads that are always there. The vibrations, man. Once it's vibrated, it's just freaking zomped into the freaking cosmos. Well, I'm sure you do. Like in vehicle, even in my bus, I got a lot of looks, but you know, I kind of lucked out because it's a unique vehicle, so it's like, woo! You get a lot of people smiles. You know, when they see my vehicle, that's the grooviness about my vehicle, is it makes people smile. And then when a lot of people were like, "You live in this thing?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, a lot of people think that is neat. And then at the same time, I get a lot of people like, "That is just the strangest thing. How do you live in it? Just like you live in your house, man." So, but a Jeep, I can understand a Jeep, but a Jeep would be very, you know, you can design it, you know, how you want it to live in it, and how you want to change everything in it, because I know it's a small space in there, but you can, and it's very, very ninja, like, you know, super stealthy for you know, to stealth camp in a VW bus is almost virtually impossible, but you can do it. You can do it. It's fun to do it too. Let me tell you about the stories about stealth camping in this VW bus. Stealth camping in this VW bus, you got to get used to people hanging around your VW bus because they see it, they come and they take pictures, they talk about it, you hear stories, and at the whole time, nobody, unless you cough or fart, you know, or move or something, nobody knows you're in here. And so they hear people's stories about their bus experiences or their VW bus stories. You know, it's cool. And there's been so many times, you know, when I've come out of like a grocery store or, you know, a gas station or something, and I've seen, and it's mostly all the time, a lady or a group of ladies or young ladies taking selfies around my bus. So I'll stop and I won't even approach my VW bus. I will just watch the thing that happens, you know, and then wait for them to leave. Because honestly, you know, and I've had this happen before, you know, I've had groovy encounters with ladies, you know, that's, you know, walked up on me, you know, sitting in my bus, especially when I had my Ranger dog. When I had my puppy dog Ranger, he was just like a ladies magnet, you know, they just came up to the bus. But I don't beat around the bush, you know. Once I tell everybody, you know, I live in this thing, and it's funny the looks on a lot of the ladies, you know, because they all have those googly eyes, you know, when they're talking with you and stuff. But once they find out that you live in this thing, those eyes, those googly eyes and everything quickly changes, and it's like you can see the wheels in their heads going around and around and around, and then it's like you can tell they're thinking about, well, what's the best conversation to leave, you know? So, yeah, it's like those things. Jeepers. Yeah, that's definitely one thing, you know, folks kind of, you know, birds of a feather definitely flock together. You know, Jeep folks hang out with Jeep folks, you know, and, you know, that's just the unique things about, you know, the world, you know, whatever's whatever, like disc golfers are, you know, I'm very nomadic, you know, you'd think I'd be hanging out with VW people. I'm here in the Oklahoma City area. I am probably the VW guy that everybody thinks is like just a little different. He lives in his, and a lot of the VW bus people that own buses at the same time, they're like, dude, I want to live in a bus, but they don't. You know, everybody says that, you know, that own their bus. I want to do what you do. Well, fuck, man. Sell your shit. Sell your shit, man. Live in your fucking bus. It's easy. How do you do it? They're like, how do you do it? Easy, man. Get yourself a fucking generator. You know, live at the fucking truck stops. Hang out at Walmart, man. You know, it's easy, you know, to live in a bus. You know, get to know people. You know, sometimes, you know, like me, I have gotten very lucky where people offer me places to stay, like now, exchange, you know, of just keeping an eye on the property. And it turns into longer extended stays, you know. People have that fear of not knowing what to do when they don't have a home or a home base to go to. And I've lived with that feeling many, many times where it's like, you know, it's a good feeling to have. The feeling of the unknown. Walking into the unknown is fucking awesome, man. A lot of people don't like it. I don't like it. Everybody hates the unknown. It's very edgy. It's very crazy. Nobody likes it. But you got to do it, man. You know? I understand what you're saying, most people's energy, you know? And maybe that's why I'm single, you know? Maybe that's why I'm divorced. Maybe that's why I'm not a father. My energy is completely different than a lot of folks, you know? My ex-wife, she tried to keep up with that energy, but she couldn't. And she tried for years, and she just couldn't. She couldn't. So, and I'm not going to sit here and throw her under the bus again, because I've thrown her on the bus many times. Because she's thrown me under the bus. Not just the bus, she's thrown me underneath the razors so many times it's not even funny. So, yeah, but I'm not going to sit there and just spew shit. But my energy is completely different. That's why I love the lifestyle I live now. That's why I love living in a van. I don't have to worry about, you know, saying something wrong to somebody, doing something wrong. I don't have to worry about snoring. I don't have to worry about anything, man. I don't. I don't have to worry about having enough money for this person or that person to be happy. That's why I live a nomadic lifestyle. So when people are really mean to other people or mean to me, especially when I'm just trying to be nice, it makes me even more like, hell, I like being nomadic. I like living in a van. I don't like dealing with people. I like it. But at the same time, my smart brain kicks in and is like, you know, my smart brain kicks in and is like, the more and more you seclude yourself from people, the more and more you lose the ability to actually interact with people and want to interact with people. And I don't like that because I'm a people person. Before my divorce, especially before my marriage, before I met my ex-wife, I was very much a social butterfly. So it's good coffee. Dang good coffee. I hate owning shit. Well, I don't like owning stuff either. I mean, that's what I have is very close to me, you know. That's what I was discussing. I think the other night on Blunt Jams. I think it was the other night on Blunt Jams. Is, you know, when I have, you know, things, or when it seems like when I have things, it causes problems. So I live a very minimal life. Aeroplane flying over. I got to keep an eye on the time because I got to be at work at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. in like 45 minutes. Straight to counting inventory. Straight into it. So here we're cruising on into 9 minutes after the hour in my neck of the woods, your neck of the woods, and everybody's neck of the woods. Yes, this is an extended Yip Yap coffee session this morning, as you guys can probably already hear and already listen. I am just waking up. I have a lot on my mind. It's always good to get stuff off your mind. And I enjoy waking up and being able to talk to you fine folks, you know. I do. Because I keep my circle of compadres and amigos and amigas very short, very small. I know I spend most of my waking time with the people I work with, but I've learned not to get too close to those folks because I don't understand, you know, why people are so mean, but people are definitely mean. But I enjoy the job I do. I like working. I like, you know, staying busy, so that's why I like where I work. Eventually, if something comes along, you know, that's something that I dig more, I'll move to that. But I like what I do. I like the simplicity of what I do. You know, a lot of people that I work with are like, man, I could not do what you do, and stuff like that. They're like, I could not work. No. They're like, I like my job. It's like, I don't know how you do your job, man. Your job would be, to me, super boring. But that's the grooviness about. You know, life. Stoner! Good morning, Stoner!
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, one more time for Stoner.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, good morning. He's like, not quite awake here. Well, I mean, obviously, they don't like them. I mean, who knows? You know, people who try to bring other people down, you know, obviously they don't dig their own life or whatever and whatnot. So like I said, I like where I work. I just, you know, the people that work around me, I just don't know much. You know, I just don't know. Yes, I spend most of my waking living time around these people, but for some reason, I know that they seem to dwell on drama, and so I'm not about drama. I'm a total laid-back person. That's why when I'm there and doing my thing, I'm just in my own zone. I'm listening to my own music, and it's funny because a lot of people are like, I've been into some electric swing again. I don't know if you fine folks are familiar with Electro Swing, but I am. It's Electro Swing. There's a lot of, you know, 30s and 40s jazz music, kind of revamped and stuff like that. And so I have been into that quite a bit lately. And Benny Goodman. I don't know if you fine folks are familiar with some Benny Goodman. He's a artist from the 40s and 30s and 40s and stuff like that. But he did a song called Sing Sing Sing, and you know, it's one of my favorite remixes. One of my favorite remixes in the whole wide world. But so you fine folks are probably familiar with it, but not the name. So here's some Sing 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 by Benny Goodman remixed. A little Benny Goodman, man. Sing, sing, sing. Remixed for you fine folks. See, that's some little electro swing, man. So yeah, when I'm at work, I'm listening to this different music like that. So people are like, man, they've never heard of a lot of the music I listen to. I've even had people come up to me like, wow, what is that? Never heard that. My buddy James, I'm like, that's Electro Swing, man. Another Electro Swing group that I've been into, really good ladies quartet. The Speakeasy 3. Really groovy ladies. They redo old, 30s jazz and just kind of redo it. And they also redo like today's music and make it into like jazz. I've heard a lot of stuff, but there's an older song that they do called "When I Get Low, I Get High." When I get low, I get real high. So here it is, man. Little Speakeasy 3. So yeah, my music is completely big spectrum.
My fur got sold, oh Lord, ain't it cold, but I'm not gonna holler 'cause I still got $1, and when I get low, oh, I get high. My man won't tell, now you know that ain't right, but you better watch out if I meet him tonight. I said when I get low, oh, I get high. All the bad luck in this town has found me. Nobody knows how trouble goes round and round me. Oh, I'm all alone when no one pet me, but old rocking chair ain't never gonna get me, 'cause when I get low, oh, I get high. Ooh, ah.
So I guess in a way this is like an impromptu jams this morning, even though we have no blunt. It's just jams. A little bit of jams this morning with our coffee. Coffee and jams, huh? Coffee jams.
My pocket's high, and my chim's up down, but I ain't gonna holler, no, I ain't gonna front, 'cause that's when I get low. Whoa, I get high. All the bad luck in this town has found me. Nobody knows how trouble goes round and round me.
Was the ruckus last night? I ended up in jail, but ain't got to worry. My girl's got my bail, 'cause when I get low,
Breakfast toast
I get high.
and jams. Yes, Mr. Stoner.
Never wanna get me, but old rocking chair ain't never gonna get me, 'cause when I get low, oh, I get high.
A little Speakeasy 3 this morning. When I get low, I get high. So ain't that a groovy little song, man? So that's where my head's been lately. I guess you can say, music-wise, in that space. Nothing bad. Just really good jams, man. So when I'm at work, I got my little speaker, which is this. Speaking of, I got put a charge to it for a few minutes. But yeah, I got that in me pocket. I got that in me pocket, and I listen to music, and I jam out to a lot of good groovy music. So, like I said, my people I work with kind of look at me like, man, this guy is he's odd. He lives in a van. He lives in a van after all these years of working here, and he's still living in a van. They probably think, what's wrong? There's something's gotta be. He's just, and they just don't get it. I live in a van because I like the simplicity of living in a van. It's not just a van. That's what it's a VW bus, man. It's a Westphalia. Westphalia. It's a groovy little morning. A little groovy little morning. Hanging out with you fine folks, you know, especially Michelle. Michelle for just hanging out. You know, it's always an honor. It's not a pleasure. It's more than a pleasure. It is a pleasure, but it's more than a pleasure. It's an honor to have Michelle hanging out in the VW bus this morning. Her and her little summer. When you say summer, the only other Summer I know is my friend Summer Jean Jones. She's really groovy lady, really groovy friend of mine. Known her for years. Turned her into like a hippie, I guess. You know, but anywho, I mean, she'll straight up say that I had something to do with turning her into who she is today. I don't know, man. But yeah, really groovy friend of mine. So thanks for hanging out this morning, Michelle and Summer. Thanks this morning for hanging out. Or thanks for hanging out with me this morning, this old stoner. I'll get it out. I need some more coffee. Yeah, one more time, right, Shadow Stoner? Oh, I guess I got my speaker off because I was getting ready to boogie woogie. I was gonna play Stoner's theme song, but it's not doing it. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, heck, man. I almost forgot. I got myself in a big old hurry, and I almost forgot. Here we go, Stoner. Just because you're here.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
I almost forgot my Grateful Dead, man. I see, marijuana fixed the memory. So, yeah, I always enjoy leaving out with some Sage and Spirit, because, you know, Sage and Spirit, the Grateful Dead is shaped me, defined me, made me of who I am today. You know, I listen to a lot of Grateful Dead. Not here lately, but I do listen to Grateful Dead. When I get into my deadhead moods, I just dive right deep into it. But I enjoy sending you guys out on a most excellent note. It's Sage and Spirit. Sage and Spirit by the Grateful Dead. But thanks again, my friends, for hanging out. Stoner, Michelle, Kristen. I know you're already out of here, man. All the way over there in the Netherlands. Maybe someday we'll hang out in Amsterdamski, man. Hang out over there in Amsterdamski. Smoke some of that Dutch treat. Vape, well, yeah, we'll vape some Dutch treat. Smoke some Dutch treat. We'll have fun jams on some Dutch treat. So I will see you guys. We won't be hanging out, sipping on any cold coffee till Tuesday morning. Tuesday, we'll be sipping on coffee. I'll be heading to my mom's house after work. But stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll be uploading my little daily snippets of my life. You know, my little documentation, what I do through the week. This week it's been kind of weird, because by the time I get to the bus, I forget to say my goodnight. So it's like, it's bang, bang, bang to the next day. Rick James, Mary Jane. Oh yeah. Yes, Rick James, man. We'll play some Rick. How about we'll do some Rick James? We'll play some Rick James, Mary Jane. Thursday on Blood Jam. Yeah, maybe we'll just start out start out the blunt with some Rick James. You know, this channel, this positivity wouldn't be as it is today if it wasn't for you fine folks. So please keep that in mind. Keep that kind state of mind, man. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. But you'll see me tomorrow night when I upload my Type 2 Daily Vlog. Remember these little moments that's going on right now. The now. Live in the now, man. Live in the now. Because that's all we're guaranteed is the now. I'll see you guys when I see you. Be kind to one another. Love one another. Be grateful for every single moment and moments of the day. Peace. Loves. Love, 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 love is all we need. And Volkswagen grease.